He's a genetic freak.
I've never seen anything like him on a basketball floor.
He is the first pick in the draft, hands down.
People are more excited about him since any prospect, since Anthony Davis.
I think he'd be the best center in the NBA.
Center, I think he's Blake Griffin, but exponentially better.
He is a phenomenal talent that is can't-miss television.
If you're a general manager, you must take Zion.
That's not debatable. Tonight, the first big step towards Zion Williamson's NBA career is taken. Before he takes it, Sneaky Hembo has this question. He won the Wooden Award, Zion did, and Kyler Murray won the Heisman and was drafted number 1. What was the only time the reigning Heisman and Wooden Award winners were both drafted number 1 overall in the same year? You got to go back an awful long way. The answer is 1987. Vinny Testaverde and David Robinson, the Admiral, were both drafted first after winning those awards those seasons. Now, I want to make sure everyone is aware of this, okay? Because I hear a lot of conversation out there. This is the first year of the revamped NBA draft lottery. In previous years, the team with the worst record had a 25% chance to get the number 1 pick. Now, the 3 teams with the worst records this season, which are the Knicks, Cavs, and Suns, each have a 14% chance to get the top pick. This was a good idea by the NBA, not a bad idea. It was a step to combat the tanking that I think has been a terrible thing for the league, so I applaud them for it. But I don't know that all the fans understand how different the lottery system is now than it has been. They're going to draft 4 teams, not 3 anymore. So the number 1 team, the team with the worst record, actually can fall all the way to number 5, which previously they could only fall to number 4. And maybe most importantly, Zach Lowe was in here yesterday and explained this for those of you who don't understand it. He and representatives from every team in the NBA and others are going to be in a room sort of silenced away from everyone else. They take their phones away. They witness the actual ping pong balls going. This thing is not rigged, okay? To all the fans in New York who walk up to me in the streets and say, you know the NBA is going to make sure we get Zion, I'm here to tell you there is a 14% chance and no better than that the Knicks are going to wind up getting the number 1 pick tonight. That is for certain. Now, there's another delicious possibility that you brought up to me. If the ping pong balls go the Lakers' way tonight, what do you think they do?
It depends on what mode they're in for this season going forward. But in my opinion, I say you trade the number 1 pick for Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis is a guy that's in the top 5, 6 players in the NBA right now. And of course, Zion's going to be good. But you have a top 6 talent right now that you could have in the grasp of your hands if you win the lottery tonight.
I can't believe I'm even asking this question. But would you rather have Anthony Davis or Zion Williamson?
Well, I think it depends on your team and the makeup of your team. But tonight is a crucial night. There's all the hope, the lottery, Zion. And then once the order is established, that's when the gamesmanship begins. And every team will be, whoever gets that first pick, every team will be calling to try to acquire it. And then they'll take the information in as to what players will become available. Then you weigh everything out. There's a lot that will begin tonight.
Listen, I mean, Zion Williamson, God bless him, I hope he has a phenomenal career, and there's no question he comes in as exciting a prospect as we've ever seen. Anthony Davis is a brilliant player. We know exactly what he is. I can't imagine any team at this point wouldn't want that. What really becomes fascinating to me, Coach, fit into what you want to do. Maybe you have questions about him. Doesn't the owner make you take him tonight if you get the first pick anyway, because of all of that will come, all the fanfare and excitement that will come with his selection?
Yeah, and you owe it to your organization to do your due diligence to see what players may become available with that pick. And obviously there's great value to Zion, so most likely you would not move him. But you have to find out who you could get for him. And if you're a team that has a star player that maybe has requested a trade, you're going to look at all your options. And then you try to create an auction to acquire the most talent that you can get for that particular player.
But maybe at the end of the day, DJ, go ahead.
Well, I say that because the Lakers, in my opinion, are in a win mode right now.
Yep.
That's why I said trade the pick for Anthony Davis. But the Cavs, the Atlanta Hawks, the Phoenix Suns, you can't trade Zion Williamson. You can't be the GM or the owner or the coach that signs off on trading that pick if you're those teams. But if you're a team that's aspiring to win now, then you have to take a look at it.
I agree with you. The best thing that could happen for the Lakers would be if the ping pong balls go their way and they turn them into Anthony Davis. SportsCenter tonight, 6 Eastern after PTI with Sage and Kevin, who will tell you why the Blazers can upset the Warriors tonight in Game 1, plus how Zion impacts the NBA Draft Lottery Top 10, and interviews with Ja Morant and R.J. Barrett. That's on SportsCenter tonight after PTI on ESPN and the ESPN app. Now, the Celtics entered this year 5-1 odds to win the NBA championship, second best in the league behind only the Warriors. They were still 37-21 at the break. From that point forward, they finished 12-12. Playoffs, of course, went the same way. They swept the Pacers, went up 1-0 on Milwaukee, and then after that, they became the first team ever to start a postseason 5-0 and lose their next 4. And so now the Celtics have a bunch of decisions to make. Kyrie Irving, Al Horford have player options. Marcus Morris is an unrestricted free agent. And Terry Rozier, who was our special guest today, is a restricted free agent as well. And so we're delighted to have Terry here. And let's just sit down and talk a little bit about this season, because it was certainly a tumultuous one in Boston from a lot of perspectives. So going back to the beginning of the year, after the run you guys made last year, and it was so exciting and fun to watch, what were your expectations as this season began?
I think we all had that ultimate goal. I think guys, me, Jason, Jalen, we had a terrific postseason last year, and I think we was trying to come and do the same thing this year.
And at what point did you realize that blending in the guys, again, you did it last year without Kyrie, Gordon Hayward coming back from the injury. At what point in this season did you recognize this was going to be a great challenge for everyone to figure out what they wanted to do?
Like the first 5 games of the season. Yeah. Once you've seen like all the talent we had, all the pieces, guys trying to figure out their role and guys trying to do less of what they would have helped this team win. Just for the team, they trying to do less of it. You kind of seen that in the first 5 games of the season.
From the outside, it appeared at times as though everyone didn't ever quite figure out exactly what their role was supposed to be. Why was that?
I think we all just felt good about it, like having practice, our discussions, film talk. But then every time we get in the game, it's just like, I wouldn't say we wouldn't follow the game plan, but it'd be different. It'd be different. I think we just didn't go through what our goals that we had.
Different in what way? Like, how would it be different on the floor?
I mean, you gotta play the guys' tendencies. You still playing with guys. You still playing with superstars out there. So you gotta adjust to that.
How hard was it for you? Obviously, Kyrie comes back and he's a superstar player and he has the ball in his hands a lot. And that there's no player who probably lost more opportunity this year in that group of young guys than you did. How difficult was that for you?
I feel like it was very difficult. I think anybody that was in my shoes that can go and start and go to Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals and then come back and we have the season that we have this year. I feel like anybody in my position to say it's tough.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it was. What is it like playing with Kyrie? Watching him from the outside, he seemed to have so many different times this season when he seemed genuinely unhappy. That was from the outside. What was it like playing with him?
He's a great guy, great leader. You just have to adjust to his style. And whatever Kyrie wants done, that's what he's going to show it. That's what he wants done. And you have to adjust to his style of play and how he goes about every game and every day.
How do you think your team did in trying to adjust to his style?
I think guys was getting it, especially towards the end of the season. But like I said, we'd come in the game and it'd be a different game plan than what we kind of expected. Kind of we went through in practice. So it was like it was different.
What does that? It's the second time you said that. I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying. How was it different on the floor from what it was in practice?
We have 5, the first 5, and then we had a second 5, and then when we go out there, I feel like a lot of guys would be mixed up. It wouldn't be the first 5 and second 5. So what we talked about in practice is not what we went through in the game. It was like, all right, we're gonna keep Kyrie out there, and we're gonna put the other guys out there with him, and we're gonna figure it out.
So what do you expect now? Let's start with your future. As we mentioned, you're a restricted free agent. How are you looking at your future this summer?
Obviously I'm gonna take it a little easy. I'm gonna relax a little bit. Get some time to myself. But I'm looking forward to play ball. I don't care where I go. Obviously, Celtics is the only organization I know for 4 years, and I love it there. And we just have to go from there.
What do you expect to happen?
I expect for me to get my chance, whether it's with the Celtics or is anywhere else. I feel like I can be myself and play my game wherever I go.
Terry, thanks very much for being as open about that as you have been. We have plenty more to do with him this morning as he stays with us all morning long on Get Up. Also coming up, with a win at the Masters last month, Tiger Woods is officially back. This week is another major championship, the PGA. We've got the two factors that could prevent him from winning. Next.